Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKadash. Double honors to the elders and bishops of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Salutations to the beloved prophets and teachers, exhorting the sheep in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamashiach, Yahawashai. For these sincere sheep, continue to learn, build up your understanding, and make your calling and election sure. I want to continuously bang on who the covenant is for and who the covenant people are according to the scriptures and the word of our power, Yahweh. It seems as though our people are still continuously wanting to cleave to the things of this world and cleave to the customs of this world and cleave to the people of this world. So the covenants, in particular, is only prescribed to one set of seed line that goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and it has never transferred into the hands of many, but it has always been a covenant promise unto one family seed line and to one nation of people. So with that being said, the first precept, sets of precepts that we can find within the scriptures, and I will read them verbatim so those of you out there with the scriptures can read along and read for yourself and identify whether or not what is being said here can be misconstrued or misinterpreted in any other way. So I'll go to First Chronicles chapter 16, starting at verse 13, and it reads, O ye seed of Israel, or Yasha'Allah, his servant, ye children of Jacob, his chosen ones. He is Yahweh, our power. His judgments are in all the earth. Be ye mindful always of his covenant, the word which he commandeth to 1,000 generations, even of the covenant which he made with Abraham, and of his oath unto Isaac, and hath confirmed the same to Jacob for a law, and to Israel for an everlasting covenant, saying, Unto thee will I give the land of Canaan, the lot of your inheritance, when ye were but a few, even a few, and strangers in it, and whom they went from nation to nation, talking about different captivities, and from one kingdom to another, continuously being put in bondage for transgressing the covenants. He suffered no man to do them wrong. Yea, he reproved kings for their sakes. So as they were in captivity, they were still held to, they were supposed to be regarded as something that was something special unto that nation, even though they were held in captivity. Verse 22 saying, touch not mine anointed, and do my prophets no harm. The prophets of old and those that are going to come into their lot to build the kingdom to come, and ultimately the house of David. This is the lots of the prophets, and ultimately to the elect. And it was a covenant promise that was said aforetime to our ancestors and the men of old, that it would never pass from one to another. It was always going to stay within that covenant line. To compound this this chapter here and these verses found in First Chronicles, we'll go right into Psalms 105 and start at verse 6. And it says, and it compounds and reiterates as a second witness. He says, O ye seed of Abraham, his servant, ye children of Jacob, his chosen. He is Yahweh our power. His judgments are in all the earth. He hath remembered his covenant forever, and the word which he commanded to 1,000 generations, which covenant he made with Abraham, and his oath unto Isaac, and confirmed the same unto Jacob for a law, and to Israel for an everlasting covenant. And it reiterates what is said in 1 Chronicles chapter 16. Almost mirrors it. So that's the second witness to its liking to confirm that the covenant promises and all the statutes and the laws that are found within the covenant belong to one particular nation of people, a holy people, a set apart people, unlike any other nation of people in the entire earth. Right? Next verse, we'll jump and grab Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 23. The covenant is real clear on who it's for. No one can spiritually be grafted back into it unless you were of that natural branch, that natural genetic line to receive the covenant promises. Because anything outside of the truth is a lie, and anything that you're being taught that it doesn't coincide with scriptures is being taught a lie, and there will be condemnation for it. Jeremiah chapter 23, and I'll stop at, let's see, I'll stop maybe at 8 maybe. I'll read through real quick. It says, "Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith Yahawah." Yahawah has likened his people to sheep, not sheeple, but a peculiar, animal, a sheep. He likened us to a sheep. Verse 2, it says, "Therefore, thus saith Yahawah, our power of Yasha against the pastors that feed my people, ye have scattered my flock, and driven them away, and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doings, saith Yahawah." This can also be reference to the men that are slacking in their work and not doing what is commanded to them. Because if you're not doing the work sincerely and speaking truth and standing firm and bold for the name of Yahawah, Yahawah Shai, you will be ejected out of the truth, and you will be dealt with accordingly. In its time and in its season, you will receive the judgments of not continuing to push and magnify this word, as it is a gift. It's a special gift unto you and a special calling. So he says, "Woe be unto those pastors. Woe to those who take this, run with it, and fill their bellies with full of filthy lucre, and continue to scatter the people." Because as the people are being fed lies, you're feeding them right into the hands of the enemy to be killed and slaughtered. There's a penalty for that. Verse 3 of Jeremiah chapter 23, and it says, "And I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all the countries whither I have driven them, and I will bring them again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase." Because of a destroyed people that continue to assimilate with these other nations and put on these different bywords that was given to them from the beginning of the foundations of the earth, they are still continue to walk in gross darkness. And he has sent the prophets, those with the words and the wisdom, into the world to waken up the people in the last days, those who have the ears to hear and the eyes to see, for you to receive this word in truth and with a contrite spirit, for you to be elevated unto receiving salvation. This is the flock he's talking to. This is the flock that he wants to reserve for himself, a peculiar people and a treasure unto him. Verse 4, "And I will set up shepherds over them." He will send his shepherds over to send shepherds unto you. If he wants you to receive his word and hear his word, and you reject it, it's the same as you rejecting salvation. That comes with a penalty. And don't be stiff-necked. Be careful of the angels that you entertain. "And I will set up shepherds over them, which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more, nor be dismayed, neither shall they be lacking, saith Yahawah." No longer will you, after receiving this true word and receiving it and having that joy, knowing that there's sure promises to bless you and your household and your children and your seed line for an everlasting covenant, your worries will be, are said to be removed. This is the gospel to set the captives free. Isaiah 60, 61. Oh, 1 second. I don't want to mess that up. The gospel is Isaiah 61. Yes, praise be unto the Most High Yahweh. The gospel, it proclaims the acceptable year of the Most High Yahweh's vengeance and to set the captives free. We're still in Jeremiah chapter 23, and we're going to verse 5. Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch. The righteous branch that's going to be grafted back into the natural branch is the elect, right? So that way we can continue to put on these leaves and flourish and be healing for the nations. And a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment in the earth. Verse 6. In his days Judah shall be saved, and Israel, Yasha'Allah, the northern kingdom, shall dwell safely, and this is his name whereby he shall be called, the Lord our righteousness, or in the Hebrew is Yahweh Tazadak. Yahweh Tazadak. The Lord is our righteousness. Yahweh is our righteousness. Verse 7. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that they shall no more say that Yahweh liveth, that brought the children up out of the land of Egypt. But Yahweh liveth, which brought up. Sorry, I'm butchering this. I'm gonna start back at verse 7 real quick. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that they shall no more say, the Lord liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. That was the first captivity. But Yahweh liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Yasha'Allah out of the north country, North America, here, and from all the countries where I have driven them, because they were scattered. The scattered sheep, Gentiles, and they shall dwell in their own land. This is the promises that is said to come forth upon receiving this covenant. Again, we have access to the covenant now in this time to be part of that hopeful cluster, to be grafted back in to the natural tree of life, right? And this is, just to, keep focus on the covenant promises and who they're for, because it's important. It's really important to concrete your understanding in this foundation, so that way you could branch out your understanding within the scriptures to always have what you're reading in context of who he's speaking to, what's going on, because this is a personal letter to a particular recipient. This is not a mail that should be read by everyone, although everyone has their hand on a Bible. Isaiah chapter 11, and we'll start at 11. And it shall come to pass in that day that Yahweh shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people. This is the second coming of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, to recover the remnant of his people a second time, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. So you're probably wondering, if you're just receiving this now, saying, well, this has happened in the past. This is talking about what? Egypt and Cush and Pathros. Those places don't even exist anymore. This is still applicable because in the scriptures, it's twofold. It has twofold meanings. And if the children of Israel has went through captivity to captivity, this is applicable, talking about a second coming, because it mentions it right there. Verse 12, and he shall set up an ensign for all the nations, and shall assemble the outcast of Yasharallah, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. The envy of Ephraim shall also depart from the adversaries of Judah, shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not envy Ephraim. So this is talking about the second coming of Hamashiach Yahushua, gathering the northern and southern kingdom back together to be that one stick in his hand. That one stick in his hand. Jeremiah 32. Jeremiah 32. We're talking about the covenant and the regathering, because this is unison. This is part of that role of understanding. Jeremiah 32. Jeremiah 32 and 37. 37 to 42. It says, Behold, I will gather them out of all the countries where I have driven them in my anger, and in my fury, and in my great wrath, and I will bring them again unto this place, and I will cause them to dwell safely, and they shall be my people, and I will be their power, and I will give them one heart and one way, that they may fear me forever, for the good of them and of their children after them. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them, and I will not turn away from them to do them good, but I will put my fear in their hearts, that they shall not depart from me. Yea, I will rejoice over them to do them good, and I will plant them in the land assuredly with my whole heart and with my whole soul. For thus saith Yahweh, like I have brought all this great evil upon this people, so will I bring upon them all the good that I have promised them. So the promises, the covenant, he's gonna put it back in our possession, restore us, or restore our name, our heritage, us as a people, all the covenant blessings. This is the regathering of the children of Israel, the northern southern kingdom, out of the four corners of the earth to place us back in the land. If that is the prophecy that's set to happen, then whoever resides in our land, that's not the people of the book. Comprendo? Okay. 2nd Esdras chapter 5. 2nd Esdras chapter 5. I hope you have an Apocrypha. If not, go get one. Quickly. 2nd Esdras chapter 5, verse 23. And said, O Yahweh, that bearest rule of every wood of the earth, and of all the trees thereof, thou hast chosen thee only one vine, and all the lands of the whole world thou hast chosen thee one pit. So one pit is referring to that one landmass. And of all the flowers thereof one lily, and of all the depths of the sea thou hast filled thee one river. And of all the builded cities thou hast hallowed Zion unto thyself. And of all the fowls that are created thou hast named thee one dove. And of all the cattle that are made thou hast provided thee one sheep. And among all the multitudes of the people thou hast begotten thee one people. And unto this people whom thou lovest thou gavest a law that is approved of all. Verse 28. And now, O Yahweh, why hast thou given this one people over unto many? And upon the one root hast thou prepared others? And why hast thou scattered thy only one people among many? So the prophet Esdras is proclaiming that the Most High Yahweh has chosen a very specific flower, a river, cattle, a vine, and you have picked a very peculiar people. And he's asking, how come you had scattered us? How come you scattered your only beloved one people into the four corners of the earth? You know, and as you read through the prophet Esdras, you'll get a better understanding, you know, that it ties into prophecy quite a bit, a great deal, in fact. Next book we'll jump into real quick. Make this video a little shorter. I'm looking for 2 Samuel. 2 Samuel chapter 7 and verse 23. 2 Samuel chapter 7 and verse 23, and it reads, And what one nation in the earth is like thy people, even like Israel?